Errol Spence Jr.'s trainer, Derrick said Terence Crawford doesn't deserve a fight with Errol Spence. Me personally, I think he's trying to tell us something. Tap in.
All right, I'm ready. They love when I was down, now they see I bounce back. Now they young and they feelings. My partner told me, King, don't worry about that. Said it's time to make a killing. It's a new day, getting new money, but I don't with new. I'm just sticking to the business and the money is the mission, about to stack it to the ceiling. Now they all in their feelings. So you mad, bro? Now they all in their feelings. Tell me I got them all in their feelings. All in their feelings. So you mad? Now they all in their feelings. Tell me I got them all in their feelings. All in their feelings. It's a new day. They all in their feelings. Money, but I got them all in their feelings. All in their feelings. Now they all in their feelings.
All right, man. Here we go again. This time, y'all gotta pardon me because I'm gonna rant a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm getting sick and tired of the excuses. It's getting real lame, you know what I'm saying? But before I rant, I just want to say welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you for tapping in. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can get all the notifications for all new videos. If you're already subscribed, I appreciate you. If you're not a subscriber, I welcome you at this time to hit the subscribe button so that you can follow us along this journey of some great boxing talk. But let's get into it, man. I'm getting sick and tired. Derrick James, the trainer of Errol Spence Jr., just recently did an interview and said Terence Crawford does not deserve a fight with Errol Spence. He said, why does Terence Crawford deserve a shot at Errol Spence? Like, come on, bro. Like, that sounds ridiculous. Like, at the end of the day, so basically, Derrick James, he tries to say, as far as generating revenue, Terence Crawford does not generate revenue. He talks about his sales, his ticket sales, his pay-per-views, and what Errol Spence has done. As far as the Errol Spence situation goes, we're not going to go back and forth about who sold the pay-per-view. Was it Errol Spence? Was it Mikey Garcia? They both were in the fight. They both sold the fight. We just going to leave it at that. I'm not going to argue and debate with people about who sold what. That's a topic for another day. As far as Terence Crawford goes, everybody knows that when it comes to selling the pay-per-view, you have to have a dance partner. Errol Spence was fortunate enough to have a dance partner in his pay-per-view in Mikey Garcia. Terence Crawford has two pay-per-views. His first one against Victor Postol. Great fighter, undefeated fighter at the time, a world champion at the time, great unification match at 140 pounds. However, Victor Postol was not an adequate dance partner for a pay-per-view event with Terence Crawford. As great, as good as a fighter Victor Postol was, no one in the United States knew who Victor Postol was. And to my knowledge, they didn't really even want that fight to be on pay-per-view. However, at the time, not ESPN, they were with HBO. HBO did not have the budget to pay for the fight. As you see now, HBO is no longer in the business of boxing. They were already going downhill. HBO did not have the budget to pay for the fight, so Bob Arum had no choice but to put it on pay-per-view so that the fighters could get paid. So they didn't even want that fight on pay-per-view. And Victor Postol was not an adequate dance partner. So let's cut the crap. Amir Khan, Terence Crawford's second pay-per-view fight against Amir Khan. Everybody knows Amir Khan, his name does not hold the same weight that it once held years ago. Cut the crap, man. Like, at the end of the day, you have to have an adequate dance partner in order to sell a pay-per-view. No fighter is going to sell the pay-per-view entirely on their own. We've seen that even with Manny Pacquiao. As big of a draw Manny Pacquiao is, he's still not doing 1 million pay-per-view buys without Floyd Mayweather. He didn't come close to doing $1 million with Keith Thurman. He didn't come close to doing $1 million with Adrian Broner. It takes an adequate dance partner to have a successful pay-per-view event. And it's crazy that nowadays y'all say 350 buys is a successful pay-per-view event. Since when? 350,000 pay-per-view buys is not a successful blockbuster. That's not a blockbuster, huge, massive event. But anyways, let's get back to the topic of Derrick James and how he tries to discredit Terence Crawford by saying that, oh, he's only selling out venues that hold 8,000 people. Come on, Derrick James. Like, it's one thing to try to discredit somebody, but it's another to put out numbers that are so far from the truth. You know for a fact that he's been in venues that holds way more people than 8,000. Terence Crawford has been fighting in venues that holds at least 12,000, at least 15,000. The last time he fought at a venue that didn't hold at least 10,000 people, the last time he fought in a venue that didn't hold at least 10,000 people, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was against Hank Lundy. The theater at Madison Square Garden. The theater at Madison Square Garden, I believe it only holds like 5,000 or 6,000. He fought Hank Lundy, pummeled Hank Lundy, beat the brakes off of him. I believe that is the last time Terence Crawford has fought in a venue that didn't hold at least 10,000 people. So for you to say he sells out venues in Omaha, Nebraska that only hosts 8,000 people, man, come on, bro. Come on, man. We all know the venue in Omaha, Nebraska. The same venue where Creighton College basketball plays their games. We know that venue holds way more than 8,000 people, and he sells out every time. We know Pinnacle Bank Arena in Lincoln holds way more than 8,000 people, and he sold out when he beat Julius Ndongo for undisputed at 140 pounds. We know that Madison Square Garden holds way more than 8,000 people. And though the pay-per-view with Amir Khan in Madison Square Garden didn't do so well, we know they still sold, more than 14,000 tickets. Come on, Derrick James, bro. Like 8,000, really? Really? So at the end of the day, all this is, what Derrick James is doing right now, is he's letting us know that when Errol Spence beats Sean Porter, if he beats Sean Porter, I think he will, but it's boxing. They still need to fight. But what he's trying to say is, when Errol Spence beats Sean Porter, if Spence doesn't get the Manny Pacquiao fight, we're still not fighting Terence Crawford next. That's basically what Derrick James is trying to tell us right now. By trying to create this narrative that Terence Crawford doesn't deserve a fight with Errol Spence. By trying to create that narrative, he's letting us know, I'm telling y'all right now, bro. I'm telling y'all. Derrick James is trying to let us know right now that if Errol Spence don't get that Manny Pacquiao fight, we're still not fighting Terence Crawford next. Because he's trying to put this narrative out here right now to go ahead and program your brains, especially all these Errol Spence fans. He's trying to program your brain right now to really believe and feel like Terence Crawford don't deserve a fight with Errol Spence, so that when they don't fight Terence Crawford, you'll already be programmed to say, oh, he's not fighting Terence Crawford because Terence Crawford doesn't deserve it. Terence Crawford, he's not a big draw. Come on, man. Miss me with that. And I'm going to say this. You have Terence Crawford. You have Errol Spence. They both have, a good sized fan base. Out of all the fans of Terence Crawford and Errol Spence, I would almost guarantee that at least 90% of all those fans is also a fan of the other fighter. These two fighters pretty much share the same fan base. But what happens is, somebody on the other side, somebody who's also a fan of the fighter on the other side, says something that is so extreme and is so far away from the truth that when you refute what he's saying, it comes off as you not liking the other fighter. In this case, it's Errol Spence. I am an Errol Spence fan. I like Errol Spence. I am a Terence Crawford fan. I like Terence Crawford. But some of the things people say that are within Errol Spence's camp, and a lot of the things people say that are fanboys of Errol Spence, it's so ridiculous, bro. It's so ridiculous, and that you have to refute what they're saying, and when you do, it comes off as you not liking Errol Spence, and that's not the case. That's not the case at all. It's just some of the things y'all say is so ridiculous. So I'm telling y'all, if Errol Spence Jr. beats Shawn Porter, Manny Pacquiao is not going to fight him. And a lot of these extreme Errol Spence fans, they keep giving Errol Spence a pass for not fighting Terence Crawford. They keep saying Errol Spence doesn't have to fight Terence Crawford because on Errol Spence's side of the street, he has Shawn Porter. And after he fights Shawn Porter, he's going to go and fight Manny Pacquiao. So he doesn't have to fight Terence Crawford. Okay, so for you people that feel like that, after Errol Spence gets past Shawn Porter, and Errol Spence looks up and he sees that Manny Pacquiao has passed on him again, and Manny Pacquiao is fighting Mikey Garcia or Danny Garcia, and Errol Spence ends up fighting Yordenis Ugas, what are y'all going to say then? What's going to be the excuse then? Are you going to say something's not right here? Errol Spence needs to be fighting Terence Crawford? Or are you going to say, oh, well, Errol Spence, if he fights Ugas, that's cool because that's his mandatory? Are you going to say it's cool for him to fight Ugas instead of Terence Crawford because that's his mandatory? Or are you going to say, no, Ugas needs to wait and Errol Spence needs to be fighting Terence Crawford in a unification to get a step closer to undisputed because Errol Spence said he wants to unify the whole division? Or are you going to run with this narrative that Derrick James is trying to paint and say, well, it's cool for Spence to fight Yordenis Ugas because Terence Crawford doesn't deserve the fight? And if Terence Crawford doesn't deserve to fight Yordenis Ugas, dang sure don't want it. He dang sure doesn't deserve it. Just because he's the mandatory doesn't mean he deserves it. Like, I really don't get it. I don't understand, like, some of the things that y'all say. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. And what Derrick James is saying doesn't make sense. And I'm telling y'all right now what he's doing. He's letting you know right now that the Spence-Crawford fight is still not happening early 2020. Even when Manny Pacquiao passes on Errol Spence for the second time. He showed up to a Spence-Mikey fight, and everybody thought he was there to scout Errol Spence. He was there scouting Mikey Garcia. Yeah, he's going to be at the fight. Errol Spence and Shawn Porter. He's going to be at that fight as well. He's not going to be there scouting Errol Spence. I guarantee you that. Manny Pacquiao has no interest or desire whatsoever to fight Errol Spence. Manny Pacquiao has no interest or desire to unify titles and become undisputed. And because of that, we will never see Manny Pacquiao fight Errol Spence. We're never going to see Manny Pacquiao fight Terence Crawford. He's not doing it. Manny Pacquiao, he can tell you what he want to tell you all day long, but I know Manny Pacquiao is no longer fighting for legacy. His legacy is already cemented. He's already a Hall of Famer. He's already done everything in the sport of boxing to be done. He's no longer fighting for legacy. He's fighting for checks. And while he's fighting for checks, he's fighting against opposition that he thinks he has a very high chance of winning the fight. Mikey Garcia, Danny Garcia, those are the guys that Manny Pacquiao's camp has come out and said are the front runners to land Manny Pacquiao next. So when Errol Spence don't get the Manny Pacquiao fight, what are y'all gonna say? Y'all running with Derrick James? Are y'all running with Derrick James and saying Crawford don't deserve it? Or are you gonna come to some type of rational thought and say something's not right here? I just want to know. King Boxing Talk, man. I'm done ranting. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section. Like, real talk, because it's just getting ridiculous. K-I-N-G, I'm gone. So I want to say I appreciate you for checking out this video. If you like the content and you want to hear and see more content on this channel, then tap in. And when I say tap in, I mean hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can get all the notifications for all new videos that I drop on the channel. And the best way to really help the channel grow is hit the share button. Share it on your Facebook, share it on your Twitter, share it with the people that you like to talk boxing with. We having healthy, respectable boxing conversations and debates on a daily. So just tap in, you know what I'm saying? And before I go, I want to shout out to the channels that I watch every single day. I watch a lot of channels and I listen to a lot of channels, but I want to shout out the guys that I watch and listen to every single day. So salute to them: Dante's Boxing Nation, Blue Blood Sports TV, Boxing Ego, Goodfellas Sports TV, Famous AAA. And again, tap in, K-I-N-G, and I'm gone.